Okay, Sandy Shuren here. I want to talk with you about layering. So, how do we get different layers, different colors, different dimensions throughout the whole script? What we want to take a look at is the circumstances. Now, in your own life, you don't recognize circumstances because you say, well, that's my life. That's not a circumstance. You know, I have trouble paying the bills, or I don't have a good relationship, or I'm not getting enough work. These are circumstances. But we just look at it as life. Now, if something extraordinary happens, you get a job or something's lost, you're moving, something out of the everyday back to business as usual. Then you take a look at it. And wow, these are extraordinary circumstances. Then you can see it as a circumstance. It's something new. It stands apart from the everyday things in your life, right? So you want to take a look at your scripts and say, okay, most scripts are written with a conflict. Most, if it's not a documentary. If not, what's the biggest commotion about? You want to take a look there. And take a look there for what the circumstances are. What is that? Like suddenly you don't have money, or suddenly you don't have a relationship, or suddenly you have to move. What is that? And then you take one thing and layer and bring it through all the different scenes. So let's say you're in 6 scenes. How do you handle that one thing in the first shot, in the 4th shot, in the 8th shot? Maybe it's not an issue at all then, but you've got to know that. And if not, how do you handle it? Why do we call it layering? Because then you come back to the circumstances, and then you take another circumstance. We'll call it an operative fact or something that really drives the scene. And you layer all the scenes with that. So that every time you work, you're layering with something else. And then when you get trained at this, when you have a muscle for it, you'll be able to see the different moments in the scripts, no matter what medium they're for, as circumstances. Just as hopefully you'll be able to see that in your life. These are circumstances. They are interchangeable. You can create another circumstance. And then wham, a whole different set of life happens for you. So I love working with these because it's something that wakes you up to your own life. Wakes you up to the script you're working on, and wakes you up to your own life, and wakes you up to possibilities, right? So that's where I want to work with it tonight. I think I'll evolve it more the next time I see you. Top of the cycle of the next month, we'll go into the psyche of the person, why they're creating it. Right? So right now, I just want you to take a look at it as, what are these circumstances? In fact, we can evolve it a little bit and just get a sense of doing this not as technical script work, but as the life of the human being, because it's coming from the character, it's coming from the human being, right? So let's close our eyes and just work with character a little bit once again, and then we'll move into circumstances. Okay, so with your eyes closed, we'll do our before the scene, before the role transformation exercise. Just start with yourself right now, take a breath, and get a sense of where you're starting from. The truth, you always want the truth. If you get the truth of where you are and the work, you can transform from there and you can work truthfully. So where you come, don't try and get a sense of where the character's coming from right now, just you. And then take a look at the character. What stands out for you about the character? What quality stands out about the character? And what do you have to shift in yourself? Where is that quality in you? If it's a 2 in you, how do you bring that up to a 10? You talk about it, you recall it. When are you that way? In some instance, maybe you are aggressive or reticent or whatever that is. And if you can't find anything, imagine it. And now just go to the role itself. How is the character in the script? That was before the script. This is the script. And in the role, what's going on in their life? They have to make a decision. Do they have to change something in their nature? And just imagine doing that. Now let's go into the circumstances. What is the one hot circumstance that drives the scene you're doing tonight? What is that one circumstance that drives it? And if you worked with any of it last week, get a new one. What drives it? And then make it relevant to you. It's got to be a circumstance that is relevant to you in your life currently. You've got to understand that. So while you're working as if it's your life. Raise your hands if it's working for you. Yes. Let this work on you. Don't act it. Don't try and do it. Don't try and be that way. You're preconditioned, so let it work you. That's very important. Good. Okay, we'll look at work now. Thank you.